Hello guys, welcome to my video. My name is Rehandiko and in this video I will tell you about part of speech. Let's go. What is part of speech? Part of speech, or in Indonesian known as word class, refers to the categories used to group words in a language based on their function and role in a sentence. By understanding the part of speech in English, we can understand how words interact with each other in a sentence and how these words affect the meaning and structure of the sentence as a whole. There is 8 parts of speech. The first one is noun. Noun is a word used to name people, places, objects, or abstract concepts. This type of word in English acts as the core of a sentence and is often the subject or object in a sentence. The following are several types of nouns or nouns in English. The first one is common noun. Common noun refers to non-specific object or creatures. Common nouns do not begin with a capital letters unless they are at the beginning of the sentence. Example of part of speech in the form of common nouns include book, dog, and city. Second is proper noun. Proper nouns refers to the names of specific people, places, or brands. Proper nouns begin with capital letter. Examples of part of speech that are special nouns are John, London, Coca-Cola, and June. And concrete noun. Concrete noun refers to the object that can be seen, touched, or known for real. Example of part of speech that are concrete nouns include table, car, and cat. And fourth, abstract noun. Abstract noun refers to a concept or idea that cannot be seen or touched physically. Examples of part of speech in the form of abstract nouns are love, happiness, and knowledge. And fifth, countable nouns. Countable nouns refers to objects that can be counted or have plural form. Example of part of speech that are countable nouns are book, books, chair, and chairs. Uncountable noun. Uncountable noun refers to an object that cannot be counted or does not have a plural form. Example of part of speech that are uncountable nouns include water, sugar, and information. Collective noun. Collective nouns refers to a group of people or object as a unit. Example of part of a speech in the form of collective nouns include family, team, and herd. Compound nouns. Compound nouns consist of 2 or more words combined to form one word in a new meaning. Example of part of speech in the form of compound nouns are basketball, sunflower, and laptop. And the second part of speech is verb. A verb is a type of part of speech in English that describes action, state, or event. Verbs act as the core of a sentence and provide information about what is being done, happening, or existing in a sentence. The following is an explanation of verb and several types of verb in English. This first one is the action verb. Action verb refers to an action that can be seen or felt by the sense. Example of part of speech that are action verbs include run, eat, and write. Linking verb. Linking verb connect a subject with additional information about the subject, such as traits, circumstance, or identity. Example of part of speech in the form of linking verb are be, seem, and become. Transitive verb. Transitive verbs have an object that receives the action of the verb. An example of part of speech in the form of transitive verbs is eat in the sentence I ate an apple. Intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs do not need an object and can stand alone in a sentence. Example of part of speech that are intransitive verbs are sleep, laugh, and arrive. Regular verb. Regular verb follow a certain pattern in forming the past tense and participle forms by adding the suffix ed or d An example of part of speech in the form of regular verb is talk, which becomes talk in the past tense and talked in the participle form. Irregular verbs. Irregular verbs do not follow regular patterns in the information of past tense and participle forms. These forms must be memorized specifically. An example of a part of speech in the form of irregular verbs is go, which becomes went in the past tense and gone in the participle forms. Modal verbs. Modal verbs are used together with the main verb to express ability, possibility, permission, intention, or obligation. Example of part of speech in the form of modal verbs include can, must, and should. Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs consist of a main verb combined with another preposition or an adverb to form a new meaning. Examples of part of speech in the form of phrasal verbs include look up, give up, and take off. Next is adjective, which is a type of part of speech in English that provides a description or quality to a noun or pronoun. Adjectives function to describe, define, or provide additional information about an object or person in a sentence. The following is an explanation of adjective and several types of adjective in English. The first one is descriptive adjectives. Descriptive adjectives provide physical descriptions or characteristics about an object or person. Example of part of speech in the form of descriptive adjectives are tall, beautiful, and intelligent. Possessive adjective. Possessive adjectives shows ownership or ownership relationship to an object. Example of part of speech in the form of possessive adjectives include mine, his, and theirs. Demonstrative adjective. Demonstrative adjectives are used to indicate objects or people who are near or far in relation to the speaker. Example of part of speech in the form of demonstrative adjectives are this, that, these, and those. Comparative adjective. Comparative adjectives are used to compare two objects or people in terms of traits or characteristics. Example of part of speech in the form of comparative adjectives include taller, faster, and smarter. Superlative adjective. Superlative adjectives are used to state that one object or person has the highest or best characteristics in a group. Example of part of speech in the form of superlative adjectives are tallest, quickest, and smartest. Quantitative adjective. Quantitative adjectives shows the number of quantity of an object. Example of part of speech in the form of quantitative adjectives include many, few, and several. Interrogative adjective. Interrogative adjectives are used to ask questions about objects or people. Example of part of speech in the form of interrogative adjectives are which, that, which, what, and whose. Proper adjectives. Proper adjectives refers to an adjectives that come from the name of people or places. Example of part of speech that are special adjectives are American, Chinese. The fourth part of speech is pronoun. Pronouns are type of part of speech in English that are used to replace nouns in sentence. Pronouns are used to avoid repetition of the same noun and provide variety in the use of words. The following is an explanation of several types of pronoun in English and examples. The first is personal pronoun. Personal pronouns replace people or groups of people in sentence. Examples of part of speech in the form of personal pronouns are I, you, he, she, we, and they. Possessive pronoun. Possessive pronouns show ownership or ownership relationship to an object. Examples of part of speech in the form of possessive pronouns include mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. Reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronouns are used when the object in the sentence is the subject itself. The examples is myself, yourself, himself, herself, ourselves, and themselves. Demonstrative pronoun. Demonstrative pronouns show objects or people who are close to far in a relation to the speaker. The example is this, that, these, and those. Interrogative pronoun. Interrogative pronouns are used to ask questions about object or people. The examples is who, what, and which. Relative pronoun. Relative pronouns connect clauses with other clauses in the sentence. The examples is who, which, and that. Indefinite pronoun. An indefinite pronoun refers to a person or object in general without specifying a specific identity or number. The examples is someone, anyone, something, and anything. The fifth part of speech is adverb. Adverb are words that provide additional information about a verb, adjectives, other adverb, or an entire sentence. This part of speech in English provides details about how, where, when, and how much or why an action is performed. There is type of adverbs. The first one is adverb of manner. Adverbs of manner provide information about how an action is performed. The examples is slowly, happily, and carefully. The second is adverb of place. Adverb of place provide information about where an action occurs. The examples is here, there, and everywhere. Next is adverb of time. Adverbs of time provide information about when an action occurs. The example is now, yesterday, and soon. Next, adverb of frequency. Adverbs of frequency provide information about how often an action occurs. The examples is always, often, and rarely. The next is adverb of degree. Adverbs of degree provide information about how strongly or weakly an action is performed. The examples is very, extremely, and moderately. Next is adverb of reason. The adverb of reason provides information about why an action is performed. The examples is therefore and hence. Next is adverb of affirmation. The adverb of affirmation of adverb. Next is adverb of affirmation. The adverb of affirmation provides information about the affirmation or denial of a statement. The examples is certainly, never, and definitely. Next is interrogative adverb. Interrogative adverbs are used to ask questions about how, where, and or why an action occurred. The example is how, where, and why. The sixth part of speech is preposition. Prepositions are words to show the relationship between others words in a sentence. Prepositions provide information about position, direction, time, or other relationship between sentence elements. This part of speech in English is usually followed by a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase. There is type of preposition. Preposition of place. Preposition of place shows the location or position of an object in space or place. The example is in, on, at, under, and between. Preposition of time. Preposition of time indicates a certain or period in a calendar or clock. The example is at, on, in, during, and for. Preposition of direction. The preposition of direction shows the direction of movement or purpose of an action. The examples is to, from, into, out of, or and towards. Next is preposition of agent. The preposition of agent shows the person or object that acts in an event. The examples is by, with, using, and through. Next is preposition of purpose. Next is preposition of purpose. The preposition of purpose shows the purpose or reason for an action. The example is for, to, with, and in order to. Next, preposition of possession. The preposition of possession shows ownership of. The preposition of possession shows ownership or ownership relationship to an object. The examples is of and with. Preposition of cause. The preposition of cause shows the cause or reason behind an event. The examples is because of, due to, owing to, and thanks to. Preposition of comparison. The preposition of comparison is used to compare two objects or people. The examples is like, unlike, as, and then. And the seventh part of speech is conjunction. Conjunctions are words used to connect words, phrases, or clauses in sentence. This part of speech in English helps in forming logical relationships between elements in a sentence and help convey cause and effect relationship, alternative, or combination. These types of conjunctions. Number 1 is coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions connect two equal or parallel elements in a sentence. The examples is and, or, but, so, for, and yet. Next is subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunctions connect the depends clause with subordinating conjunctions connect the depends clause with the main clause. The examples is because, although, if, when, while, and after. Correlative conjunction. Correlative conjunctions are paired together to connect equivalent elements in a sentence. The examples is either, neither, both, and whether. Next is conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverb is an adverb that functions as a conjunction in connecting clauses or sentence. The examples is however, therefore, furthermore, nevertheless, and henceforth. Next is subordinating conjunction. The subordinating conjunctions of time connects depend. The subordinating conjunction of time connects dependent clauses with time or sequence of event. The examples is before, after, when, while, and as soon. The next is subordinating conjunction of place. The subordinating conjunction of place connects two the subordinating conjunction of place connects the dependent clause of. The subordinating conjunction of place connects the dependent clause to a place or location. The examples is where, wherever, wherever, and everywhere. Next is subordinating conjunction of condition. Subordinating conjunction of condition connects dependent clause with condition or possibilities. The examples is if, unless, provide, that, and in case. And the last part of speech is interjection. Interjections are type of word used to briefly express emotion, feelings, or spontaneous reactions. This part of speech in English is usually used separately from a sentence and can stand alone. There is type of interjection. The first type is emotion interjection. The emotion interjections express strong emotion or feelings. The examples is wow, ah, ouch, hooray, and alas. Next is greeting interjection. Greeting interjection are used to greet. The examples is hello, hi, hey, and greetings. Next is surprise interjection. Surprise interjections expresses surprise or shock. The examples is oh my god, goodness, whoa, and yikes. Next is approval interjections. Approval interjection shows agreement or satisfaction. The examples is bravo, well done, great, and excellent. Next is disapproval interjections. Disapproval interjection expresses disagreement or disappointment. The examples is oh no, ah, yuck, and boo. Next is pain interjection. The interjection pain indicates pain or discomfort. The examples is ouch, ow, ah, ugh. Next is farewell interjection. Farewell interjection is used when parting or saying goodbye. The examples is goodbye, farewell, bye-bye, take care. Okay guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.